Hi, I'm Colton here at Porsche Center Calgary, and this is one of our 2019 Cayennes. So as you may know, for 2019 the Cayenne was fully redesigned, which means when I say fully, I mean fully. There's no piece on the car that carries over from last year. It's a whole new look. Every piece is new, interior's new, all of it. Some of the most meaningful changes were the engine. Now it's a 3-liter turbocharged from last year being a 3.6-liter naturally aspirated car. A lot more power, a lot more torque, and then inside as well, entirely revamped, much larger screen, much higher tech. And you can watch some of our other videos to go more in depth on what's changed. But let's talk a little bit about this car specifically. So this one is in the Moonlight Blue Metallic, which is an interesting color. Oftentimes in the showroom, people mistake it for black because it's really quite dark, and under certain lights, it just looks like a black car. In the sunlight, that metallic effect is a lot more noticeable, and the blue really comes out. So it's got some versatility to it. It's an interesting color. Interiors is your standard black, which is the vast majority of what we sell, by far the most popular. But a little more about the outside. These wheels are the 21-inch Cayenne turbo wheels, and we did them in the satin finish, so that it's kind of a more of a gunmetal gray as opposed to the shinier one, right? Which I think on the blue in particular looks really good. And when you go to the 21-inch, it's a subtle thing, but you get the little wheel arch extension here in the body color. Without that, it's just kind of flat down rather than coming out a little bit, and just left black unpainted. So again, it's a subtle thing, but it does make an impact on the overall kind of aesthetics of the car. As well, keeping with the outside, we put the roof rails on top and did them in black. When you do that, it switches the window surround here to black as well. The default would be silver, but we do find the black's a lot more popular, so we put that on there. And then around back, this one also has the model designation delete, meaning it still says Porsche on the back, but doesn't say Cayenne anymore. It's just a $0 option when you're speccing the car. Personally, I like it. Just keeps the back a little bit more clean and tidy, a little bit minimalist. If you do need Cayenne, we can still put it back on there for you, but it's not there right now, and I think personally it looks pretty cool that way. So onto the inside. Some stuff we added there. We put in, as we will with most of these, the Premium Plus package, which gives you quite a bit. I'll break down some of what it does. Firstly, you get a seat upgrade. You can choose either the 14 or the 18 when you get that package. We selected the 18 way. So what you get there, compared to the 14 way, is a little bit of a more heavily bolstered seat. So it wraps around you a little bit more, and that's adjustable too. So down at the base of the seat, you can wrap that in a little bit tighter or more loose to your taste, as well as the seat back, you can make tighter or bring it out to be a little bit more loose. There's also another difference. Being the headrest is integrated into the seat, whereas with the 14 way it's not. Benefit with the 14 ways, you can then also move the headrest up and down and in and out, whereas with this you can't, but it's a much sportier look and feel here. It's much more similar to the seats in our sports cars. So personally, I really like them, but you do have the option, as I say, some of our cars will have 18, some will have the 14, which is a more kind of standard seat. This one's just a little bit sportier. So you get that. As well, you get the cooled seats. Heating is standard, but when you opt for that package, you get cooled as well, and you get heat in the back too. So that's kind of the seats. You also have the Bose audio as part of that package, which we'll put on 90+% of our cars. Definitely worthwhile over the standard system. You can go all the way up to the Burmester if you're really particular about your sound and want the best quality possible. That's worthwhile. Those who select it will say it's their favorite option, but it's more expensive than most people really need. The Bose is actually quite a good system, and that kind of middle ground that most people are happy with. As well, as part of that package, you get the lane change assist, or more commonly known as blind spot warning. That has really spiked in popularity. Pretty much everybody wants that, so we're putting it now on pretty much all of our cars, and Porsche has kind of seen that and just built it into that package. So that's here as well. You also get a headlight upgrade, and those are new for this model year as well. The Matrix LEDs. So it used to be the top level was just the regular LEDs, which you can leave your high beams on, and it sees a car come the other way, turns them off so as not to dazzle that driver. These ones have kind of taken that to the next level, and they have 84 individual LEDs in there, and they'll turn off only the specific ones affecting that car as it drives by, and leave the rest of your high beams on. So that's a pretty cool, pretty high-tech feature that they've added this year, and again, made part of that package. You also get 4-zone climate control with that, so you always have 2-zone in the front, where you can choose your own temperature and fan speed and kind of where your air is coming from. With this, you get that same setup for the back passengers as well. which is pretty nice. If you have people in the back, they definitely appreciate having their own kind of control back there. Also new for this year and part of that package is the multicolored ambient lighting. It used to be you could get ambient lighting on the old cars, but it was just always a white light, right? Just kind of a dim white light. Now with this car, you can choose from various different colors. You've got a couple of blues and greens and reds that you can select for the interior, and you can also choose the intensity of that. You know, how bright do you want it above your head versus in the footwell, in the cup holders and all that stuff. So it's a feature, it's again, seems not that important, but I really like it. It really changes the vibe inside the car. So that's pretty well what you're getting in that package. But we added a few more things as well. So also put the towing package on the car, which is to say just putting the hitch back there from factory. The Cayenne is quite capable in that respect, which a lot of people don't always realize. It'll tow 7,700 pounds, and it'll do so pretty comfortably. You can add the hitch after the fact, but it's expensive. It costs $3,000 or so to do it if you're going to be towing with it. Only a couple $100 if you want it just for a bike rack, but if you are going to tow, it'll cost about that much, whereas from factory, it's a $750 option. So something we put on this car, and we'll put on a lot of them, but not all. So it's something to keep in mind when you're scrolling through our inventory to find the right one for you. As well, the surround view camera, which I really like. So you have a camera underneath the side mirror here, as well as, of course, on the other side, and one on the front. All the cars will have the rear view camera, but this one we upgraded to have that full surround view. You get the kind of a top-down view all around the car, making it super easy to park. You can just kind of see the lines on either side of your car and place it in between them. It takes some getting used to if you haven't used it before, but once you learn to trust it, it works very, very well. And then another thing actually that's new for this year that we optioned on this one is the heads-up display. So Porsche has never had that before. Now you can get it on these Cayennes, and that'll project your speed and navigation directions and all that right onto the windshield in front of you, which is, again, pretty cool and something we haven't had before. I really like that a lot. And actually, on the note of the windshield, this one has the heated windshield as well, which we've had for a while, but often discourage customers from getting, frankly, because what you ended up with was fairly visible heating elements throughout the windshield. So if you're driving and the sun's hitting it in the wrong way, it just looks bad. It's really affecting your visibility. So the benefit of having the heat, I think, was kind of outweighed by that lack of visibility in certain scenarios. Now, the new way that they do it, that just doesn't happen anymore. So you can tick that box and not have to worry so much about the downside. Though it will mean when you inevitably in Calgary have to replace it, it'll be a little bit more expensive. But that part I think is worthwhile. The lack of visibility isn't. So that's kind of what's unique about this car, what we added to it. But we do have a good selection of the Cayennes right now. So, keep scrolling, check out the videos that we've done on all those, or come down, pay us a visit, let us go through them with you and set up a drive. Thanks very much for watching.